Picture two friends graduating from the very same college in the exact same year with identical degrees. Fast forward 20 years. One of them runs 3 successful businesses and has accumulated serious wealth. The other is stuck living paycheck to paycheck, convinced the economy or bad luck is to blame. The obvious assumptions for this gap are intelligence, family connections, or a stronger work ethic. But both students had the same starting line, identical networks, and worked equally hard. The actual difference comes down to a quiet, invisible blueprint, each carried in their mind, a subconscious boundary dictating exactly how much wealth they believed they deserved to hold. Long before you ever earned a paycheck, you were handed a set of beliefs about money. Overheard arguments at the dinner table or casual negative comments about the rich quietly built your financial blueprint, a mental baseline of what feels normal and safe for your bank account. This explains why so many lottery winners go completely broke within a few years of cashing a massive check. The money arrived, but the internal architecture never changed. Sudden capital cannot repair a blueprint designed for scarcity. Biologists call this mechanism homeostasis, the automatic drive to regulate an environment. When your bank account spikes above your baseline, your brain treats excess wealth as an anomaly. It gets dragged right back down to the familiar. Unless that invisible blueprint changes, external gains typically drift back toward the historical average. Think of your income like a room controlled by an HVAC thermostat. In this diagram of a cybernetic feedback loop, the room is set to 70 degrees. If you light a fire in the middle of the floor, the external temperature spikes, but immediately the system's cooling mechanisms activate, forcing the output right back down to that fixed 70-degree set point. Your subconscious financial thermostat operates on the same logic. If your internal set point is $50,000 a year and you suddenly land a huge bonus or start a lucrative side hustle, the system registers a spike. Instantly, your brain deploys its cooling mechanisms to lower the balance. Expenses mysteriously rise. You make an uncharacteristically impulsive purchase, or you decide you urgently need a newer car. We often call this self-sabotage, but it is actually the brain successfully executing its core programming to return you to the income level where it feels safe. Hustling to increase your income without raising that internal set point is an exertion of energy against a perfectly designed self-correcting system. To see how this baseline is enforced in the real world, imagine 2 identical competing storefronts operating on the same street. The first shopkeeper operates from a framework of playing not to lose. Every decision is consumed by defending their current baseline and protecting what they already have from perceived threats. This defensive posture leads to specific actions. They underprice their goods out of fear, avoid spending money on marketing, and nervously watch competitors, convinced there is a finite amount of business to go around. The second shopkeeper approaches the market entirely differently. They are playing to win. Their focus shifts away from defending a baseline and toward actively expanding their capacity. They price their items fairly but confidently. They actively invest capital into growth and treat the market as an abundant space where opportunity multiplies through action. Most of us grow up believing that comfort is the eventual reward for accumulating wealth. But playing not to lose feels comfortable because it stays within the familiar. Financial growth and psychological comfort rarely occupy the same space. Prioritizing that feeling of emotional safety is exactly what keeps the financial thermostat locked in its original position. There is a common belief that acquiring wealth changes a person's character or habits. In reality, sudden capital tends to accelerate the existing habits of an undisciplined system. Anxious or impulsive tendencies don't vanish with a higher balance, they scale up with it. Conversely, when you pour capital into a system already calibrated for discipline, patience, and generosity, how do you recalibrate this homeostatic programming and actually raise your financial set point? The standard approach is to make a massive, dramatic financial leap, but doing so almost always triggers the brain's panic response, forcing a systemic crash back to your baseline. The effective method is surviving microdoses of discomfort over a 90-day period. This means initiating one small negotiation, making one minor investment, or having one uncomfortable money conversation. This chart maps the psychological outcome. As you accumulate small, repeated proofs, your baseline incrementally ratchets upward. These clustered microactions trick your subconscious into accepting a higher degree of risk as the new safe normal. Which brings us back to our two college graduates. The one who built wealth did not possess superior intellect. He spent 2 decades slowly and uncomfortably overwriting his internal code. The financial blueprint was learned, which means it can be rewritten. Updating the internal code is what ultimately shifts the external results.